Welcome to today's Emunah Minute. In this week's parsha, we're introduced to the incredible figure of Noach HaTzadik. And the Torah introduces Noach in a pretty dramatic way. Eila told us, Noach, these are the generations of Noach. Noach ish tzadik. He was righteous, tamim. He was complete. Haya b'dorosav. Was he in his generation? And of course, Rashi HaKadosh picks up on why everything is going great until the Torah decides to mention that he was righteous in his generation. Tzaddik, fantastic, he's righteous. Tamim, he's complete, fantastic. Why do you have to add in that piece in his generation? So Rashi, of course, quotes the famous machlokes, the famous dispute. Yesh me rabosinu darshan l'shvach. There are some of the rabbanim who darshan, who explain this dorosov as a compliment. Even though Noach lived in a generation of wicked people, he still maintained his personal piety. V'yesh darshim also lignai. And others see this kind of as a negative thing. He was righteous because of the generation he lived. In other words, Noach was a comparative tzaddik. Compared to everyone else in his generation, he was incredibly righteous. But had he lived that's because he lived in a wicked generation. Had he lived in a righteous generation like Avram Avinu's, then he wouldn't have been nothing. He would have been nothing. And the Lubavitcher Rebbe Zechasad v'Kadosh Levracha makes such an incredible observation. If you look inside the wording of Rashi, you'll notice something interesting. Rashi says, Yesh me rabosenu darshim l'shvach. There are some of Rabosenu, our rabbis, our teachers, who explain this statement as a compliment to Noach. V'yesh, and there are those shedarshim lignai, that darshan or explain it as a negative. Rashi points out, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, points out that it's not symmetrical. It should have said, Yesh me rabosenu darshan l'shvach. There are those rabbis who darshan it as a compliment. V'yesh me rabosenu, and there are some of the rabbis who darshan it lignai as a demeaning thing. But it only uses the word rabosenu, our rabbis, by shvach, by praise. And when it comes to those who go ahead and explain it in a negative way, it just says v'yesh. There are those who explain this lignai in a negative way. And the Rebbe says something so beautiful. He says the true mark of personal piety is the ability to see something good, to see something beautiful in another human being. Anyone could see ginai. Anyone could see something negative. Yesh darshim lignai. There are plenty of people who could see the negative. Plenty of people who could see the things that are wrong, see the things that are broken in another human being. But it's yesh me rabosenu shedarshim l'shvach. It takes a special person to see the good, even when the good is not so apparent. It takes a holy person to see the good, even if the good is shrouded by a little bit of not so good. Anyone, yesh, world is filled with people who could see ginai. But yesh me rabosenu, there are the select few, the holy few, shedarshim l'shvach, who are able to see the good. As we begin a new week, and we begin our entry into the new year with Yom Tovim behind us, a whole year filled with beautiful opportunity, excitement, untold possibilities. Let's go out of our way to see the good. Go out of our way to see the good in our fellow person. Go out of the way to see the good in the life circumstances. Go out of the way to see the good just in life in general. May we be zochem Yirtzeh Hashem to become personal personifications. Yesh me rabosenu darshim l'shvach. Wishing everyone a wonderful day.